Hey everyone, welcome back. In this tutorial, I will model this rim. Actually, this is a part of the series I have been working on my Patreon page. We are going slowly, but we have made it here so far. If you want to know more about this project or my content on Patreon, you can check out this Trello page as it shows everything, every content I have on my Patreon page. As I said, this is a part of this Lamborghini series. And this is the result. I am really happy with the result. If you are having difficulties with radial symmetries, I highly recommend watching this one. Now let's get into the tutorial. You know what I'm going to do? I will load in an image plane first. So let's go to the front view, hit Shift and V back. I will load this one in. I will also increase up the transparency. Now let's take a look at the rim we are going to model. It looks like we need to repeat that area around 10 times. Let me show you with this tool, this doodle tool. I am talking about this specific area. I will have to clone this around 10 times. Knowing that, I will add in a disk that has 10 segments. Let's change the orientation and scale it up. You know what? Let's increase this up to 100. Then let's go back to the image plane settings because I need to make some adjustments. I will move that up slightly. Yeah, now looks much better. I will select the disk back and set this to 10. Let's delete that. Okay, so we got our starting point, but a single polygon will not be able to, model this specific part. So we need to increase up our segments. I will simply multiply this by 4. Now we will have 4 polygons. Next up, I will make this disk editable. Hit C. Then I will grab these 4 polygons, invert the selection. We select invert and delete these polygons. What is more, I could also delete these points on the left side because I could easily mirror these with a symmetry. Now I will right click and grab lookout tool. I will start to drop these loops on exactly where I will adjust the shape, like here, 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 and these loops. Perfect. Now I will right click and grab polygon pen tool. I will add that edge in. Then connect the point to that one to that one. Move it to the left. After that point, I can hold down Control and click on these polygons to delete them. I will add that edge in. Then get rid of these polygons. It is time to mirror this. So first, I will mirror this on the left side. Then I will repeat the whole shape around 10 times. So I will hold down Alt and add in a symmetry. This will mirror this on the X. Then I will add in another symmetry. This time I will change its type to radial, set this to 10, and change this to Z. Perfect. We don't need to see these planes, so I will turn them off. Let's see it N and B. Now it is time to make this mesh as uniform as possible. The reason is I will curve this mesh. It is not going to be a flat one. Like what you see in this image, I will curve this rim in slightly. So I should have a uniform mesh as much as possible to deform this mesh smoothly and properly. So I will start to drop in these loops like 3. Then over here, I will set this to something like 6 or maybe 7. Then over here, I will set this to 3 and 2. Now I will go into points mode, grab polygon pen tool, or you can adjust the points with rectangle selection tool. I will just move them around. Since the mesh is flat, it's quite forgiving. It's not possible to make a mistake in this part. So I will just move them around to match the rim in the image. Now let's drop this top symmetry into a sub-D. These clones will not be connected, so I will have to add in a connect object. Now let's see the subdivided mesh. Okay, seems fine. Maybe we can move that up slightly. Then that point, I will slide that edge up. Okay, seems pretty fine to me, which means that I can make this connect object editable because I will apply a deformer to this object. Let's hit C. Once I have done that, I will hold down Shift and add in this deformer, spherify deformer. I will move it on the Z. Unfortunately, it is quite hard to tell from this image, but I assume it is not too much, so something like that will be more than enough. The bad thing is this deformer will change the whole shape, so we need to adjust it again once I have applied this deformer. So let's do that. Right click on the object and click on connect objects and delete. Now I will hit T. Let's try to scale this up. It seems like scaling will not work alone, so I should use another deformer. Unfortunately, I cannot select these unmatched points and just scale them up. It's gonna destroy the whole shape. After that point, since the mesh is curved, it is quite fragile. A small adjustment or change in the shape will cause some artifacts on the mesh, so we need to be really careful. So this is why I will be using another deformer, which is going to be an FFT deformer. I will hold down Shift, add this one in. I will basically select these points of this FFT, the boundary points, and scale them up. So my aim is to change everything but this midsection, as this part is looking quite well. But the problem is, if I do that, it is going to change everything. As I said, I want to preserve this midsection. To do that, I will come over to the FFT and simply increase these up. Once I have done that, I will grab these boundary points again and scale them only. Yeah, this is exactly what I need. Let's scale them up. Now apply the deformer, connect objects and delete. I will enable sub-D and check the mesh. As I said, it is quite fragile. A small mistake will destroy the whole shape. So I will orbit around the mesh. Yeah, I see no problem at all, which means that I can move on to the next step, which is going to be deleting these symmetrical parts. So basically, I will select the points that I will repeat again. So I will select these polygons by holding right mouse. Then I will invert the selection, hold down Alt symmetry, another one to clone this around, radial 10Z. I will turn this off again. These points are not connected, are not matched. You can try to increase up the tolerance of these symmetries, but usually that doesn't work. I don't know why. So as a final solution, I will drop in a connect object again and increase up the tolerance. That should fix the problem. Yeah, let's enable sub-D. Okay, looks perfect. We basically got the same mesh, but this one is curved in. You know what? I made a mistake. I should have extruded these edges first, then deleted the polygons. The reason is simply it is quite hard to extrude polygons with symmetries. Like if I want to extrude this, it's not going to allow us an easier way to do that. We will have to delete these polygons, then we need to position them perfectly. So a lot of hard work. Why don't we just duplicate this, then make this connect object editable? Once I have done that, I will extrude these again. I just need to work on these two loops. because I will just repeat them around again. I will hold down Control and extrude them on the Z. Let's find another reference. Yeah, this one. This one will give us more idea, especially about this little one. Let's try to model it first. It seems like I will need that loop so that I can make a loop selection in polygon mode and extrude these in. Now let's take a look at the other one. This time though, it's quite hard to see again, but I feel like I need to scale these edges in like that. While we are here, let's drop in the supporting edges. So I will add that in, that one and that one. I will also need to clone these out. Right click, slide tool, hold down Control, clone these out. Let's see. I will enable sub D. Yeah, looking fine. I will just double click on these edges and use bevel tool, but in solid modes. I will also enable uniform modes. It will basically remove these triangles. I don't want to over sharpen the edges, so I will move these apart. Okay, seems fine. Maybe I can slide that point up, then move this on the Z. Now I want to check the roundings. Okay, everything is looking just perfect now. Let's select these polygons again. Invert the selection and delete them. I will use this duplicated connect object. I will just replace this object with this new one. Some points will not be connected again, which means that I need to increase up the tolerance. Let's try 0.5. And that seems to be working. Some of the points may not be connected, but just don't worry. Now let's move on and select these polygons. Yeah, these ones. I will move them on the Z. Okay, that seems fine. We will need to drop in these loops. Enable sub D. And here we go. If you are getting this kind of sharp edges, you need to increase up the font. Okay, looks perfect. I believe it is time to add in these holes, but first I need to make some adjustments to the shape. Simply, I want to simplify the mesh by removing these supporting edges. I should keep this area as simple as possible, so I will dissolve these out, right click. Then the other thing, I should add that loop in because I should have a uniform surface, especially on where I put that hole in. Let's add this one as well. Okay, we are good to go. Unfortunately, we need to break this symmetry again. I will make this connect object editable. By the way, while these polygons are selected, let's reverse them. The position of that loop is not looking correct. Yeah, let's scale that in slightly. I don't want to break the smoothness of the surface. It is curved, so a slight change may break the smoothness. So let me test that out real quick by adding these in and enabling sub D. Okay, it looks okay. I will hit Ctrl Z. Now I will drop in a cylinder, change its orientation, move it on exactly here, scale it down. Then I will rotate it slightly to match the edge flow of the rim. Okay, now I will select this object. Let's rename it and put it under a bool and put this cylinder under it. Firstly, I can remove these height segments. Now let's take a look at the segments of the cylinder. If I select these polygons, which covers the whole detail, I have exactly 16 polygons. So I should be okay with 16. We will see. I will enable this option and make this bool editable. Now let's grab polygon pen tool and clean up the mesh. Like this one to this one, this one to this one. My target points will be the points of the cylinder, so I should merge that point to that one. I will add these diagonal edges. I usually do not like these edges, but the mesh is going to be a static mesh, so I will not insist on that one. I will not try to clean these up. Next up, I should keep them, as these are holding the shape. Speaking of that, let's clone these edges. I will have to add them anyway to sharpen that area. Let's hit Q. Okay, seems fine. I will get rid of these points by holding Control. Then let's connect these. Then these points. Then I will add that edge in. Same here on the other side. Now remember, target points are the points of the cylinder. I will add these ones. Next up, I will double click on the loop, grab slide tool, hold down Control, and clone these out. These are going to be your supporting edges of this detail. Something is not right here. Let's select these and weld them. I will double click that loop again to extrude them on the Z. One more time and extrude these in. It's time to bring in these loops that I dissolved out. I will just select them except for these edges. Then I will select bevel tool. Then I will select polygon pen tool, merge these points. I do not like these triangles, so let's merge these like that. Yeah, looks just perfect. What about the other one? It is supposed to be quite easy. All I need to do is select these polygons and make an inset and apply fit circle tool. I will also enable project to surface option. There's a problem though. If you look at this image, this hole is supposed to be closer to that edge loop. So I will hit Ctrl Z, then grab these edges and slide them down. That should allow us to add that circle more towards the bottom. Inset with circle tool. Maybe we should slide it more. Let's do it again. Okay, now looks way better. I can move this back to their original positions. Once I have done that, I will just make an inset and move this on the Z a few times. Perfect. Somehow I deleted these, so I will add them again. Hit Q, also hit N and B. You should also check the topology time to time to detect any kind of artifacts. By the way, I have a triangle over here. I just noticed that. But as long as it doesn't do anything bad to the shape, we are okay with it. Now I will just double click on these edges Sorry, not that edge loop. Remember, we are going 4 by 4. So that hole in that 4 polygons, and that hole should be in that 4 polygon section. So instead of that edge loop, I should double click on that one. Also, I should select these edges. Now I should be able to make a fill selection. We select fill. Here we go. Perfect. Let's invert the selection, delete the polygons, and drop this one into another symmetry. This time, I will set this to 5, and you know the reason. Here we go. Let's enable sub-D. Some unmatched points. So let's add in a connect, increase after tolerance. Okay, perfect. But you should be really careful with this connect object. It sometimes connects unnecessary points. If I increase that up, you will see what I am talking about. You see here. It could easily mess up your whole mesh. So you need to be really careful. So around 0.3 will be enough for us to correct that area. Yeah. I think this is the time that we need to make this connect object editable. Next up, I will double click on that edge loop, right click, and apply fit circle tool. I should turn this off. Yeah. Now these edges are perfectly aligned to create perfect circle. Let's not forget these ones. I will make an inset. Actually, let's do that twice, as I could use these as supporting edges. Then another one. I will select these polygons, hit E, hold down Control. Yeah, perfect. Also, let's delete that point and use close polygon hole tool. I will select the patch one and I will rotate this around until the flow is straight. We are about to wrap it up. Lastly, I will double click on that edge loop. Let me zoom out. Okay, let's build up that section. So basically, I will scale this up slightly, then I will hold down Control and move this on the Z axis. Then I will hold down Control, scale this up. I assume these edges should be going with the curvature, so I will move these on the Z. By the way, again, it's going to be quite hard to tell from these images. I am doing my best, but as you can see, I am eyeballing everything. So if the shape is wrong, I'm sorry about that. So next step, I think I have to move this on the Z again. Then I will extrude this out by holding Control. Let me check it again. Yeah, I will move this on the Z. It seems like we need to scale this up. What about that H? Let's try to follow another image like this one. No, I cannot see it. What about this one? Yeah. So it looks like these come out like that. Then I will hold Control, extrude these out. Then I will move these on the Z by holding Control. Another extrusion. I will hold Control. Scale this in. And yeah. By the way, I will not model the whole rim, as there will be tire which will hide everything, so it's going to be quite unnecessary to model everything. Now let's start to drop in these loops. Let me call this back rim and copy these objects. I will paste it over to the original scene. Control V. I'm going to rotate it 90 degrees, then scale it down. Let's go to the right view. Everything is looking fine. In the next parts, I will probably model these smaller details. But for this part, this is going to be it. Thank you very much, and I will see you in the next ones. Bye.